Got it. All right. Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020. The time is a little three minutes after 7 p.m. All right. All meetings of the Lake Management Committee are recorded. Meeting notices pursuant to the Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Lake Management Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with the right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the office of the AG webpage at mass.gov. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted. The town will persevere to use conference call capabilities regularly for other parties to listen in and participate accordingly. If not possible, we will post on the town's website an audio recording as soon as possible after the meeting.
Thank you, Annie.
Yay.
Has everyone read the minutes?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a few comments.
Go.
Okay.
They on the bingo chart up top, Paul Murphy is a yes for voting, and Rick Wylot is a no for voting.
I noticed that my neighbors.
Okay.
And then I've got a few more going down through a couple questions. Under 3, Concom update with no docks over water. It was decks, I believe. Correct?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Right. It was a deck
And
over
then-
water, not dock.
And then
That's
the
true.
next part says, and there were 2 walls being, there's something missing. Application request was approved being planned, period. Application request was approved with no decks over water. New sentence.
Are you still on number 3?
Number
Yeah,
3, right. So 2 walls were being planned. One is right at the waterfront, one is up from the waterfront, because I remember the application.
Okay, you got that change, Annie?
Yeah, I'm typing it. So also, decks, can you repeat the second part? So the decks are being planned, not.
And there are 2 decks, 2 walls being planned,
Okay.
and then period. And then application request was approved with no decks over the water.
Yep.
And there were 2, something stated that the 34th Grove Street application, no, that was all right. Application request was approved. There's no capital on that. So 34 Grove Street application request was approved with no decks over the water. And there are 2 walls being planned and a period.
Okay, I can
And
change
then
this
the
right
word
now,
in comes out.
but I just need a vote before I do it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few other things that I was reading. The next line, Kurt increased the boat count from 72 to 82 and a half boats.
Yes. He gave
What's a
in
half
more
boat?
money than, yeah, well, he turned in X amount of bucks. It really wasn't on
I
boat.
see.
Okay.
I would just leave it, pick a number, 82 or something
Yeah.
like that. All
Or
right.
You could say 80.
And then,
Yeah.
down number 5, Mike D, the stated should be a little s, not a capital S. It just picked it up automatically because there was a period there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And on number
Oh.
number 6, something's, it says Deb, if conductivity, I think
I
the
already
word noted.
changed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I already talked to
Yeah.
her.
Yes, thank you, Deb.
Gotcha. No problem.
Okay. And then number 7, the DPW moved all buoys to storage. the DPW were stored for the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be upset when they don't get their roads plowed because their DPW is stored for the winter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, some punctuation. My apologies.
That's all right. And then the north ramp that was locked.
Yeah, Mike, that's you,
What was
Mike.
the word that was?
Where are we? Hang on.
Number 7, second line.
Wait, second line, third line.
North ramp that was
Also
locked.
asked about a
The
wheel
wheel
on
was
dock.
locked. The wheel.
Wheel.
Yeah.
Wheel was locked. Okay, that makes sense. That the wheel was locked.
Yeah,
The wheel on a dock at the north ramp. Oh, was locked. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. So I'll just
Change it.
change
Yeah, you
this.
can change it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess number 8, because I know there were multiple dams. Suffield DPW removed the dams below the state line.
Like 4, at least 4.
Yeah.
So several
There's multiple.
dams.
Several would be good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
You guys
fine.
are also just, more than welcome. Like how Deb just had me
Email.
put in just one word. You guys are more than welcome to just let me know if
If
you
I had
see
read it earlier, I would have.
advance. Yeah,
Send 'em
no
to you.
problem.
All
Just
right.
a little embarrassed now, no problem.
Oh.
Kidding.
Oh my
No.
gosh, don't be
No.
embarrassed. Taking notes
No.
is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really is.
trying to get all that down.
Don't worry about it.
You do good.
Okay, with those changes, is everybody okay with these? We can take a vote on it if I have a motion.
We're good. I'm good.
Is that your motion?
I need a
That's my
motion.
motion. I'll take a motion. Let's just, I'll vote. I'll say it's good.
Okay, Malcolm made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb seconded. Okay, we have a motion to accept the meeting minutes with the changes that we just went through. And it's on the table. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, it's unanimous then. Okay,
You should poll. Yeah, you should poll
I just
because we're on Zoom.
I don't know what you said, Dick.
You should just poll, go down. I
Oh,
can if you
go
want, or
down
you
through
can.
people.
Go down the list.
Okay, I can go down through the list. Let's start at the list at the top here. I need each person to say it independently. So Norm,
Yes.
Mike Coombs,
Yes.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Mike DeBay, yes. Dick,
Yes.
Deb,
Deb.
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Paul. Paul,
We lost them.
We may have lost him.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
You
I
had
don't see
enough.
his number on
okay.
here.
We had enough.
Chimed in.
You got plenty.
Oh, that was a yes. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh,
Thank
there you go.
So we got a unanimous vote to accept the meeting minutes with the following changes. Okay,
Yes.
let's go on to the next item. Concom meeting update, Norm.
Yes, from the November 16th meeting, there was one item that needs to be shared with LMC. And they had Doug Cameron was on from the state to say that they were planning to replace all the deck boards on the fishing pier on Middle Pond.
Okay.
He said there would be no water access needed to make this happen. The original boards didn't stand up to their warranty, and this new product called eBay or ePay should be
ePay.
last
Yeah.
forever. And
Yeah.
that was approved by the Conservation Commission.
Good.
That's the unfortunate
Okay.
part with pressure treated lumber today. It doesn't last.
Yeah.
And Norm, did they give a date on when they're gonna do it?
If they did, I didn't write it down.
Okay, just wondering.
I
Okay.
can
No.
get that because I'll be communicating with Doug for a bunch of things.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, from the December 7th meeting this past Monday, there are 3 items. Dick had submitted 156 Berkshire Ave dock was still in the water, and the Conservation Commission will be sending a letter out to the owner.
It's
They
out.
also asked, it's out now? I guess it worked, huh?
That was quick.
Yep.
They asked if
And we have ice.
anybody on-
We actually have some ice.
Yeah, I did see some ice, yes. And we're on a related matter, they had asked if anybody from the LMC had done a tour to see any other docks that might still be in the water. And I told them I would check with tonight's meeting.
I saw one at 43 Chestnut Circle,
What number?
43.
43 Chestnut. Okay.
Yeah, it's right beside where the ramp is, it's where the Congo Monster boat is. That's still in and the boat is still in.
Hmm.
And if
Okay,
probably knows, if you look on North Pond, if you look up there, there's quite a few still in. One right beside your house, Norm, right? Norm gone?
no,
No,
there's
Norm.
none in the water by my house.
Norm's on middle.
I'm in
He's
Middle
on middle.
Pond.
Maybe where Paul is.
Paul Murphy's on north.
I did
Just
notice
usual.
there were several, but I think they were all have been approved with maybe the exception of 101, which is the next subject we want to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know about the one beside Norm. It goes quite a ways out. Was that approved to leave it in? On the left-hand side as you go in?
That's Paul's
So-
house.
That's
That's
Paul's
Paul.
house. You're talking North Pond, Mike.
Right,
think.
North Pond.
Okay.
Paul, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
Right beside you.
Which one
Paul.
is he talking about? All the ones at 7 and 9 are out of the water. Those were long. All the other ones on the cove, except the ones that are anchored to the bottom, are all out.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we only know of 43 Chestnut Circle.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
that's,
that's a
Okay,
new
I'll
one.
report- I'll report that.
Hmm.
Okay, and they had on their agenda the annual dock removal request for variance for 101 Lakeview Street. That's directly across from you, Paul, and next to the 6 and 7 docks that came out. And I went back in our history and I couldn't find any approval by our organization.
I could not either.
Okay.
I couldn't either.
Okay, now it's interesting because the owners think they've had them in the past, and I sent the letter out, but I'll read it there. It says, "Please accept this letter, and the attached application is our request to renew our variance from Section 6.2 annual removal of docks. As noted in our application for the 2019-2020 season, the docks, which are located on the property, are constructed out of wood and predate the local permitting program. They are supported by a combination of wooden posts and galvanized metal posts, which have been set in the bed of the lake. To remove them would greatly disturb the ecosystem of the lake." I laugh because of the next sentence.
I think
That's
she's
not an
doing some
excuse.
buzzwords.
That's not an
Having
excuse.
now been at the home for almost a year, I can confirm that it is highly likely that there are muskrats which live under the dock, as we have continuously observed the animals travel beneath the dock and not come out. The docks continue to be in good structural repair. As such, it would be our intent to continue to maintain the docks in place so long as possible, not to disturb the muskrat habitat underneath.
God forbid.
Unbelievable.
So
They'll get
Paul-
Yeah,
over
that's
that.
not an excuse.
That's muskrat
Yep.
love.
Yes, it is.
So Paul,
So what did conservation say about that?
well, they didn't want to take any action until we had commented on that. Now, Paula, I guess I'll ask, do you recall that dock was in last year? Question
I'm
mark?
not really sure.
Okay.
It probably was if it's put in, you know, the way it's described.
If it's permanent,
I can actually look. I can look on Google Earth and see if it's in there. So I'll check 101 Lakeview.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can go back on Google Earth about 10 years with high res flyovers.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I still
Hey,
don't, hey, Dick, I don't believe that, because it was put in before the LPP, it's not grandfathered that it doesn't have to come out. And
That's
Mike
Right.
That's
DeBay and I
correct.
took a ride around the lake last year on all of the ones that were looking for it. And I don't recall that one being part of it at all. Maybe Mike does. I don't recall it at all.
I remember the number coming up. This is Mike DeBay. I remember the number coming up, 101 Lakeview, but I don't know which dock it is we're looking at, but this shouldn't be that hard. If they got a variance for the section 6.2, that should be documented.
That's correct.
Right.
Concom would have had to vote on it and give it to them.
Well,
And we would have had to also.
Correct.
that's
And if
right.
They
it's not
probably
showing
did
up in
get it,
anybody's
guys.
meeting notes, I guess I'm confused on why
Well-
they think they had one.
Because the people that they probably bought the house from, they said they've only been in it a year. They
Probably
probably
told
bought
them.
the house.
Yeah.
Told
Yeah.
them they had.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I know
okay.
that was a recent sale because there was a whole issue. There were some other issues with that property.
Yeah, they said this was put in many years ago. It was wooden, so I bet you they put this dock in 20 years ago. They sold the house last year. These people have only been in there a year, so they were probably told
Okay.
that this was,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, my recommendation, if we're doing anything, is it needs to come out.
Yeah.
There's
I
no-
agree.
It's not gonna, it's not gonna hurt to take it out, and who cares about the thing? They'll move somewhere else and live somewhere else. Someone gave us some
Right.
words, and me, that dock needs to come out. That's my recommendation.
I will just for the, I will verify, right for now, let's assume that it was still, that it was in. Because I know there were some old docks along that side. And the trouble is it's very narrow property. I don't, if you're that familiar with it, but 99 and 101, they're probably 50-foot waterfront each. That's very small. And it's difficult to tell who owns what in there. So
Yeah, let's see if
I'll
they had
look
it in.
on.
let's just see if they added it.
Yeah, and I guess there's two actions as I see it is we need to know if Concom actually had a variance. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to send Gene an email about?
No, I can take care of that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And when you look up Google Earth, maybe you can give me an email update?
Sure, I will do that.
I
Try
got a
and do
hunch
that
it's been
tomorrow
in,
morning.
I got a hunch it's been in the water all winter long for several years, but the original variance is probably several years old.
There may never have been a variance.
And we
That's
only
true.
started seeing these variances a few years ago. We talked
Right.
about that there needed to be variances for people who wanted to leave them in. And there was a whole thing about it. And then we started getting variances, but that was a few years ago.
Correct, Eric. And the other thing is, if these people put this dock in 20 years ago, nobody cared 20 years ago. You could leave your dock in. So, I mean,
Right.
maybe these people have had that dock in for 20 years and they just said, we've left it in all winter. And that, I mean, you go back 20 years, there wasn't any LPP. There was none of this stuff.
Right. Remember, it's a new owner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And it sounds like they're under the impression that they somehow are grandfathered because the dock was in before LPP existed. And
Right.
no, I'm sorry to tell you, before LPP, those docks really weren't legal. You really needed Chapter 91 licenses.
Exactly. And I know that they did not have that. That's a fact.
Yep.
Because I have all copies of all of the licenses at town hall.
So permanent structures have to have a chapter 91 license?
Yes,
Yes, we are.
or a variance, or a
Well,
variance if it's legit.
Right, and and certainly we don't grant the variance. Concom does.
Right.
We have recommended variances in situations where it's like, no, that would be a real hardship, and and in those cases, it also was okay. It's a real hardship. It looks like it won't cause a real problem, and the homeowner has to mark it so that nobody hits it in the winter, and they have to acknowledge that they're responsible.
Right.
If the thing breaks off and the town has to pull it out of the water, they got to pay for it. And if anybody gets hurt by that dock because it floated off, that the homeowner is liable for that.
And that's all supposed to be in a variance if one is
Right.
granted.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'll contact
guess
Gene
that-
tomorrow.
So how are we gonna leave it? I mean, if Norm finds out that it was not, they need to take it out. I mean, our position is it needs to come out unless there was a variance.
I think we should do a vote on that. Personally,
That's
How
fine.
anybody else feels, but
Well, I think if
I agree.
they think they've got one and they're putting in for one, it'd have to be addressed as a regular variance coming in. And you have to read it and look at
Yes.
it and all that kind of stuff. For right now, we don't know
Yep.
of anything. So until we have information, there's not much to do. That part of the
Right.
lake,
Okay.
there's a lot of people that have been leaving their docks in because it doesn't shift like the big part of the middle pond or south pond. And so the docks don't get all damaged and busted up in there.
Yeah. I guess the action would be for conservation to so notify them that they either have to have a chapter 91 license or a variance. And I have not seen a variance for it, nor is there a chapter 91 license. I know there is not.
They apparently bought this house about a year ago.
Right. I think they closed
And-
on it maybe as soon as 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
what are
think-
we doing? I mean, we're getting dragged in the mud on this dock.
Yeah,
so-
we are, and we don't have the information to make any decision on anything we have, so we ought to, for right now, just have it as an open item to get information on.
Okay.
But if they need a variance, they got to apply for one like anybody else would.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure that dock existed for years there. I'll go
Oh,
take
God,
a look
yeah.
at it tomorrow. The
Okay.
picture they have on the town assessor website, I'm not really sure which house the docks would belong to there.
But
I'll
in
go
any-
take a look at it tomorrow.
In any case, no matter how long it's been there, if they want to leave the dock in the winter, they have to apply for a variance, and that variance requires there to be a compelling reason.
Yeah, or a chapter
Well-
91
Or they
license.
get a
And
chapter 91 license that lets them leave it in, but otherwise it has
Yep.
to come out.
and we still get
Well,
to
we-
approve that.
Right, but this letter that they sent was, is their request to renew our variance from the annual removal of docks. So this is their
Right,
request
so
for
I
a
think we
variance.
have to ask Concom for a copy of the variance.
Right.
Yep, the original one. Okay,
Right.
Yes.
I'll do that.
If they have a variance, they don't need a renewal.
Well, apparently,
Right.
well,
There's no renewal for variances. You have a variance, you have a variance. So
Correct.
I suspect they
But
don't have a
variance
variance.
can-
And the answer is you have to apply for a variance.
Does it
Variance
transfer
can
with a
have
new owner?
sunset.
Would a
Some
variance
of the
transfer
variances
with a new owner?
I believe
Good
it's.
question.
Well, some of the variances have a sunset on them.
Hmm.
So we got to be careful of that. Some say that, if this happens, if A or B happen, it's null
Yeah.
and void.
Okay, so I think this
All
horse
right,
is
let
dead.
Norm
We're asking Concom if there's a variance. If there isn't, they need to apply for one. or take the dock out.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So can we leave it at that and keep moving?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
All
Yes.
right. And Norm, you let us know what you find if you find something.
Yep,
So
will
we're
do.
all up to speed. We don't have to wait for a month or so to find out what's going on again. And if you need help,
And
say
I will do the map, I'll do the Google Earth thing and get that to you, Norm.
Okay, thank you.
and
Could
if
you
need
send it
help,
to me
Norm,
too,
say-
Dick?
Sure.
Norm, if you need any help, say something. Don't
Will
struggle.
do.
Okay,
Will
going
do.
down the list, lake level. Lake level as of the first of the month was up to 224.9 inches. It's coming back down, but it's been floating there
I think
because
you
of the
want to turn
rain.
the volume up to 2.49. Is that right?
224 feet, 9 inches.
So that's
your,
224.75.
okay.
Yeah, well, the thing you measure it with is in inches and feet, so you gotta kind of,
So can somebody send me the updated data? In other words, I pull that together and I graph it and compare it from year to year. So if there's more data, I forget when the last one I have is, but it's a while ago. So
I've got a few of them still. I thought I included you on the text that I sent to Dick.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
and-
so much looking for that. Dick maintains an Excel sheet, which I then add to with a graph and a year-to-year comparison and a model. So if I can get the most recent, that would be good because I'll update it.
Cool.
Yeah, I will do that. I'm going back, starting work again on the 18th. So I will, if I get a chance before that, if I have a few minutes when I'm in town hall, I will add that information. If not, I'll do it on when I get back in the office officially.
Okay.
Right.
Dick, if you need any, I got some of the ones that I took still written down. I had them in my phone. If you need more, let me know.
Yeah, if you want to send me any that you've got, just an email, I'll add them all.
Okay. I think I already sent them to you all, but I'll check that. Okay. What I did notice, Dick, too, is just for your information, the gates at the south ramp, the ones coming in from Great Brook, the stop logs that are jammed in,
Yeah,
they're about, I don't know what they are. They're probably 2-inch thick or 3-inch thick oak planks, about 8 feet long, going across there.
yeah.
One of them is half busted up. It was leaking through pretty good after that rainstorm, coming from Great
Okay.
Brook into the lake.
We are trying to get funding to replace those with weir gates, with stainless steel weir gates. But if not, we may have to get DPW to replace the oak with oak.
Yeah.
I can tell you that those things weigh a ton, literally.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need something to lift them down in there with.
Yeah, you got to use a backhoe
Yeah,
with a chain.
but
They are
substantially
heavy.
cheaper than the gates. The gates still run us 30 grand by the time we get done.
Now they're now close to 100.
Wow.
Figured.
They
Aluminum.
kind of
right?
went up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
No,
given the
no,
fact that
stainless steel.
we
Stainless.
bought some good ones that open top and bottom, and we don't need that there because we've never used the bottoms on ours, and we'll never use it there. We're gonna keep it basically closed unless we want to figure out how to get the fertilizer out of the other side. I mean, Great
Well,
Brook through there is
you-
nothing but a leach field for all the farm runoff.
There may be a need for I'll tell you why we have a double one probably over there for the same reason, is that there's a lot of turtles that migrate between, and we can crack one of them. But part of that is getting, what do you call it? Great Brook dredged. So it's all wrapped into one. This is part of what I've been working on, trying to get the money from NRCS, because they did the dredging project back in the 80s, a part of Great Brook, the part that you can see going to the transfer station. That was 1983, I think, 83 or 84. They dredged that. So
Well-
I've been in contact with them, trying to get them to do a project that would include putting in, once you get the brook flowing again, then we don't have the problem of a constant backflow, and you don't want to put in something that that you have to change later on. They're so bloody expensive to begin with.
Oh, yeah, I agree. You don't want to spend money on one and have to redo the gates. You better off putting wood in the thing. But doing Great Brook, one, it's all screwed up past the transfer station because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
blocked. It's completely blocked. And the water level there
Terrible.
higher than the lake for quite some time.
Yes.
And
Yep.
we don't want it running back into lake. We're better off dredging the other end and letting it drain through canal.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? That thing is a mess right now. Like Mike said in the beginning, that water was running in all week from over there. I mean, I can't
Oh,
even
yeah.
imagine what that does to the lake's clarity when that is just green muck and
It's green and
fertilizer.
brown.
It's farm runoff.
Yeah.
It's
It's
nasty. and It's been
basically
running all week.
fertilizer. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a project, but that's a project's gonna take its own, a whole big course to get anywheres on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to keep moving down through this so we can get on to new business because we don't have anything else that we got to cover till we get down there. I don't believe anyways. We've got, I don't know if we had any updates. I haven't heard anything new on 140 Summer Drive or 112 Berkshire. I don't know, Norm, is there anything new there?
Well,
Nothing new on
just an
112.
FYI, 140 Summer Drive is in the northwest corner. And that is actually on land that belongs to the North Pond Association.
Yep.
And
So-
they granted an easement to the Hankies to have a dock there.
Okay.
So, excuse me. That's one of the things that a little more research has got to be done on there in terms of what they actually want to do.
The last update we got was they were asked to give more information of what they wanted to do.
And I have not seen anything.
No,
Okay.
that's basically what I was asking. I did check and talked with Ken Phillips, and he has another indicator which we can put on. He was going to try to help me get it on, but with the water level where it is and the weather, obviously we're going to wait till spring, and we'll have to hilty it into the cement embutments on the south weir gates to give us another
That's correct.
level.
There is another one. He made two.
Yeah, he has it at his house. I talked to him about it. But that's just an update. There's nothing we can do. I mean, if we wanted to get in the water down there, you could do it, but I'm not getting in the water this time of year.
Nope.
Okay. Winter meetings. Those are the ones we had scheduled. And I put a note here because the question is, do we want to maintain them all or do we want to skip any? And Deb, I put your name there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of committees that aren't meeting and at all. And some of them are doing like every other month. And I'm wondering, I don't think we have enough going on that we need to meet next month.
That
But-
sounds, I think you're correct on that. A lot of them aren't doing them. And I think we should have a vote on that. We should not, I don't think we should do the January 14th and do the next one would be in February. I'm with you.
Not a bad
Yeah, the
thought.
only thing coming up that we're gonna have to deal with, by the way, is and we can do them individually, is remember we have to either rehire ramp attendants that we've had previously or interview new ones and then vote to to bring them on board.
Does that
Or
happen in
just sign the
January?
paperwork. You can sign the paperwork.
Does that
Yeah, but
happen?
that doesn't have to happen before February.
We want to get them on board. We usually try and get them as many as we can by then. So that we've got people in line. Annie, maybe you can comment on, I know we're losing Paulo. We lost Paulo. He's retired.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I know that had been discussed for years, but he really
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, he's going back to Italy and he's not coming back.
Yeah, that'll leave a hole.
Yeah.
But the only real question is, do we need to do hiring and need signatures from people before February? Because that seems
We'll need
awful early to
signa-
me.
I think we
can
could,
start-
yeah, I think we could squeak it by till February.
I can
Well, we're-
start putting out some feelers for ramp attendants, but last year we hired them all in March.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's go
if
back
we-
to the original
Yeah.
item we're talking about and the question. The question is, do we have a motion to skip the January
I'll
meeting and
make-
have our next
make a
meeting in
mo-
February?
I'll make a motion to skip the January meeting.
I'll second the motion.
And I have a
Okay.
question
Question,
before we
go
vote,
ahead.
please.
Question.
I believe our charter says that we will meet at least once a month in the winter months.
Yes, you're correct.
So I'm not so sure we can just blindly make that decision.
How do the other
Cancel that
committees
meeting.
do it? Do you know, Dick? Do you know, anyone know how the other committees do it?
Well, I mean, the other thing, I'm glad, Norm, you brought that up, because the other thing is, remember, we just had on the plate, we were talking about variances and whatnot. So this is December. And, you know, if people have to remove something, we may have to work with Concom sooner than February.
Yep.
And it'll be by a Zoom anyway.
Well, can't we just send each other emails? I mean, we're going to be doing that anyways to sign these forms. We're going to run over to your house to sign forms. We can text each
Yeah,
other.
and
We
the-
can
and
do
the-
whatever we need.
Well,
Yeah,
I
the
see we have
signing of
Doug on.
forms
Maybe,
will be, the signing of forms will be people who we've already had that are coming back, because we have to, that's annual. They're not,
Okay.
they're not permanent town employees, they're seasonal employees, and all. It's much simpler process when they return. It's one sheet of paper that you guys have all seen.
So this is what we're
So we
going to
can
do
do
in the
that.
January
I agree.
meeting, Dick? Dick, are you saying we're going to be hiring someone in the January meeting, that we need to have the meeting so that we can all get together on this?
No, we won't have anybody ready for January to hire. But Norm raised the question about whether we can legitimately not have a meeting.
And that, and my
We can ask
question
the
was,
select
my
board.
question was, how do other people cancel theirs? I do know that some of the other, like when we cancel them because we don't have a quorum, we just cancel sometimes. How do you
right.
get by that?
You have to post it. We could,
I see.
here's an option that's legal, I know is legal. We could leave it as that's the next meeting and cancel it due to lack of available, for lack of a quorum.
Okay.
That's legal.
Okay. I see we have Doug on. Maybe he wants to comment.
I just quickly brought up the charter that we just executed. I thought that was where it was going to be in there, and I didn't see it in there real quick. Not,
I don't
Oh, really?
remember
I'm
it
no
being
expert
in
on
there.
it, but if we just agreed on that charter, I don't think it says, like I
Okay.
said, I read it really fast, but
Yeah, I agree, Doug. If it's not there,
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
Dick, as long as we post that we're gonna have one on a specific date, just because we skip a month. It shouldn't
a-
make it.
yeah, it says it meets per a posted schedule and meetings are open to the public. Agendas and meetings are posted and available in accordance with select board policy and the Massachusetts open meeting law. You guys have
All
no
right.
business in front of you. By all means, cancel the meeting.
Right,
Okay.
right.
You don't
Cool.
all have to get together and go, we got nothing. See ya. Just to,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Bingo.
Okay, so I had a motion from Eric and I had a second from Malcolm. Then the motion is to cancel the January, specifically the January 14th meeting, and have our next scheduled meeting on February 11th. So that's the motion that's on the table. Any more questions about it? Norm brought up a point which was good. Any other points that anybody wants to bring up? then I'd like to have a vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, do you want me to run down through the list again?
Yeah, let's do that. We need to.
Okay. Norm,
Aye.
Mike Coombs,
Aye.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Mike DeBay, yes. Dick,
Yes.
Andy doesn't vote. Deb,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
and Paul.
Yes.
Okay, it's all unanimous. We'll cancel the January 14th meeting, and the next scheduled meeting will be on February 11th.
So we have to post. What we need to do is post that it's being canceled.
Okay,
Do we?
Because the reason we have to do that is because if you look at the LMC on the website, it says we meet monthly on Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Well, I hope nobody's waiting for the internet meetings. We haven't had one in months.
No, but
Exactly.
second and fourth Thursdays of the month. So that's why we post what we're doing.
But in the winter, we only have one anyway, so that's
Right.
already wrong.
Exactly. Because we put it on it's on the agenda when the next meeting is.
And put the agenda that it's going to be in February.
Yeah, we can do that.
Good move.
How about I post the agenda in January for the February meeting?
Sounds good.
No.
No?
Hey, Annie, let's make this simple. If we need a letter to be posted, what do you need to say? Just that we're canceling that meeting and our next scheduled meeting date will be February?
Yeah.
Annie, I'll write something, I'll send it to you and you can post it.
Great, thank you.
And then we just put a big meeting canceled across the.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had Eric that made a motion. Who seconded?
Malcolm.
Malcolm, thank you.
All right.
Okay, for the next item on the agenda, beaver dams in the canal. That was put back on there only to let you know that after the last meeting, they had removed the beaver dams. The DPW did it on the weir gates in Connecticut. Suffield came over and removed 3 of them south of the weir gates in Connecticut. Well, they got called back to do it all over again because the beavers came out and in 3 or 4 days made them bigger. And they were pretty substantial, the size of them.
Incredible. Incredible.
Hopefully they don't build them again before it freezes up down there.
Right.
And that was just information for everybody.
Okay.
The next item on here was the Eric to give us an update for the report. Now, I don't know, I saw your email. You said you don't have slides, so if you want to talk about it, or you can wait till the next meeting and put slides together or whatever.
Yeah, probably I'll wait till the next meeting. There isn't a lot to say that hasn't already been said at this point. We've got a detailed report from Ken, but the long and the short of it is, what I've already said before. So yeah, we can go over that again, but I think at this point, things went, as far as we can tell, things went very well with the treatment. The second season is very telling. The only negative that we've had is that the alewife that was intentionally added, apparently, which is an invasive fish, is definitely degrading the clarity we could have gotten. But I don't think there's much we can do about that.
Okay.
And that was attributed to, Ken did come back on that and said that the alewives are problematic because they're trapped in Congamon, unlike other places that have alewives where they can come and go. Ours just reproduce and stay there.
And these are fish that were put in by the state?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that report available for people to read now?
Oh, Ken's report? Yes.
Is it available off the website or?
I don't know where it is. Dick, you've got a copy of it also, I know. Right?
I can email it if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to read it. I don't know if anybody else wants it, but I didn't know if it was gonna be available via the website or what, but
No,
How do you spell that fish that was put into the lake, may I ask?
ALW,
A-
I'm not sure. WEIF, I think, but I'm actually
IF.
not certain.
yeah,
Alewife? Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
like
if
that.
you get
AL.
close, it'll come up.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
I
a
made
stop
it.
on the T?
Yeah,
And they-
exactly. Yes, it is. That is the correct spelling. The stop
Okay.
on the T.
Oh, I was
When
trying to
you
make a
look out
joke
on the
and I seem
water-
smart.
When you look out on the water, you'll see these whole masses shimmering. That's them.
Really?
I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them.
Yes.
Are they taking the lake over, may I ask?
Well,
Well,
they're an invasive. They've been in there a long time,
Yeah.
but they're a filter feeder. So the issue is that they eat up all the zooplankton.
Yeah.
Right.
I got them right here. Okay. Wow. Okay.
which does not help. I have a couple of very interesting reports that I will circulate. There's one that was done on the Great Lakes. There's another one done on another lake in New York State. And there was another one on a Mass Lake, a couple of Mass Lakes and ponds, where they're having horrendous problems with algae blooms. And if you read the one on the Great Lakes, it's really interesting because it's 40 or something % of the total fresh water for the of the world. It's huge. I never realized how much fresh water
The Great Lakes.
volume
Yeah.
is in the Great Lakes until I read this article. It was in
Wow.
National Geographic. So I'll make a copy of it, scan it, and send it out.
Great.
Okay. All right. So anyways, on that listing for the lake treatment, Eric, I'll leave you down for the February meeting. And if you're going to get slides, get them to Annie ahead of time so people can see them. She tries to post at least by the weekend before the meeting.
I appreciate it. Just Annie, send me a reminder. when the
Yeah.
time comes.
Sure thing.
All righty.
Okay.
I have one thing under other I'll share with you.
Okay.
Is that I've been working with Office of Fishing and Boating Access on a permanent easement to allow us to allow PD, Police Department, to have a building down there at the waterfront where they can basically pull their boat in right from the water right into the building, literally on rails, and store it secure, locked, and be able to put it on the lake, be able to go on the lake. In other words, it's physically there. They don't have to trailer it anymore. And they are really, really looking forward to having that. And we met on site, four of us from PD, and Doug Cameron from the Office of Fishing and Boating Access, and myself back in August. And so I've been working with them on that because we had a variance of an easement, a permanent easement done for the sewer pump station, similarly at my request. And so there's already precedent for ours. They've also done it for other people where they allow them to do certain things on state property. That's all state property. So that would be a huge bonus to be able to have the police boat literally on the water. So all they got to do is drive down, hop in it, and get out on the water. And they really want that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Where's this going to be? North Ramp?
By the north, yeah. If you, do you know where the, there's those two doors that are in the side of the hill, two green doors, steel doors?
No.
Well,
I'm sure I've seen them.
they're kind of opposite the shed
Yeah.
at the waterfront.
Okay.
That's the area that they're talking about. And what we
Okay.
would do, that's our pump, our irrigation pump. And what we do is put the irrigation pump in the building
Okay.
and
I know
take
where
that
you're talking.
spot.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking. Okay.
So, yeah,
So who has,
PD's
who
really
has to
excited about that.
Who has to approve it, Dick?
The Office of Fishing Boating Access, because it's their property.
Okay, nobody in our town has to?
Well, we'll come back to, it'll be a select board, PD, and OFBA, but the one that's going to grant it to the town will be OFBA. The town will have to accept it like we do an easement for a road, which goes through the select board.
Okay.
So, and PD, like I said, they really, really are excited about being able to do that.
Cool.
Because they say, you know, dragging the boat around on a trailer, on, off the trailer is not good for the boat to begin with. And it just adds an hour by the time you hook it up to a vehicle, trailer it down there, put it in the water, park the vehicle, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Let's to approve.
Good information, Dick. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, our next meeting will be on February the 11th. And unless somebody's got something else, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Unless someone has something else.
I'll second.
Who was the second?
Eric.
Eric.
Mike C.
you.
Eric.
Mike C. and Eric.
Okay, Mike C. and Eric for a motion to adjourn. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, just to keep it official here, I'll go back through the list. I got Norm,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Mike DeBay, yes. Dick,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Paul.
It's unanimous.
It's unanimous.